Welcome to the Whitwam Wealth Real Estate Podcast. Today's episode, The Invisible Inventory, building off-market deal-finding systems that feed your pipeline.
Welcome to the Whitwam Wealth Real Estate Podcast with Scott Whitwam, your blueprint to financial abundance. Settle in as we explore the mindset and methods for wealth building through real estate.
Welcome back. I'm Scott Whitwam, and today's episode, The Invisible Inventory, building off-market deals, finding system that feeds your pipeline. Let's be frank. Most new investors learn the hard way. The best deals rarely show up on Redfin or Zillow. They're not standing on the MLS with big signs just waiting for you. They're usually hidden and off-market. They're owned by people who haven't committed to selling yet. Investors consistently buying properties at deep discounts aren't just lucky. They have built systems to bring them opportunities before anyone else can see them. Today, I'm going to break down how those off-market deal systems work and how to build a machine that produces deals consistently. So let's dive in. All right, first segment here, I want to talk about why off-market deals really matter. See, off-market deals matter because the math matters. I tell this to my coaching students all the time. Make sure the numbers work. And most off-market deals simply don't leave enough margin. So we have to be able to know the numbers. And certainly on-market deals are even squeezed tighter. See, you're competing with other investors, retail buyers, institutional buyers, hedge funds, agents sending deals to their networks. And competition pushes prices up. This is a very good thing when you want to sell your flip, because the more competition, the higher the price gets driven on your property. That is great for the retail market. But off-market deals are much different. They often come from motivated sellers, like landlords tired of managing tenants, homeowners facing financial pressures, inherited properties through probate, vacant homes, people relocating or going through life changes. These sellers, they aren't always looking for the top dollar. They realize their house needs repairs, the house needs some help. They may not have been planning on selling, so they haven't done any remodeling or updating. They're just looking for solutions. And investors who control off-market deals and the off-market deal flow are essentially creating their own inventory through these type of sellers. Instead of competing for deals on the retail sites like Redfin, Zillow, and the MLS, they source them directly. And you don't have a realtor involved that doesn't understand the creative investing process in blowing up deals. I say that as a realtor and broker myself, but I've seen it happen many times. They get behind that retail system and work directly with the seller. All right, segment 2, I want to talk about a big mistake new investors make. See, most new investors approach deal finding like this. They wake up, they check Redfin and Zillow, maybe they call a few of the real estate agents, and they hope something appears. Generally, when it does, it's way overpriced, but they can't find anything else. So maybe they take a stab at it. That is not a system. That's like playing Keno at a casino. See, professional investors think differently. They be out front of things. They're building lead generation pipelines. Yes, they treat real estate investing just like a sales business, because real estate investing is marketing first. It is a business of marketing, getting yourself out there, marketing that your product is buying houses, and you're looking to develop that list of opportunities. Deals don't magically appear. I don't care what the guru told you on YouTube. They don't magically appear. They are generated. The goal is simple. Build systems that bring distressed or motivated sellers directly to you. All right, so segment 3 here, I want to talk about the systems. System number 1, direct mail. One of the oldest and still most effective strategies is direct mail. Why? Because it's targeted to specific property owners. You're not broadcasting to the world. You're reaching people with properties that fit your investment criteria. You can do it down to the neighborhood. You can do it down to the house. You can do it by zip code. If there's a certain zip code that has a much higher propensity to be selling, so we'll say, like houses before 1990 with 70% ownership or something, you can pull the properties in that zip code and market directly to those properties that fit your investment criteria. Common lists include, absentee owners and landlords, vacant properties, pre-foreclosures, probate and inherited properties, tax delinquent owners. You just send simple letters. And I like the yellow letter method best because it looks more like it was done on a yellow notepad instead of some business created, document or letter that's coming out. The other thing that works good is postcards. And they just say something like, hey, I'm looking to buy a property in your neighborhood, wondering if you ever considered selling. That's it. It's really simple. No pressure. Most people throw the letters away. But the ones who call are often motivated sellers. Well, and the people that just want to cuss you out because you filled up their mailbox. I have to tell you that we get those too. But you got to just blow those guys off. And it only takes one good deal to pay for an entire marketing campaign. All right, system 2, call it driving for dollars. It's another powerful system. It's just about driving around looking for dollar opportunities in every house. And it's exactly what it sounds like. You drive neighborhoods looking for distressed properties, like ones with overgrown yards, boarded up windows, peeling paint, roof shingles missing, piled up mail, abandoned houses. These homes often signal owner distress or neglect. You then look up the owner contact information and then reach out. There are several ways to find owner information, like skip trace companies. These companies are really good at taking an address, finding the owner by doing massive public information compiling. And they get you names, they get you email addresses, they get you phone numbers. And there are apps that make this incredibly easy. You snap a photo of the house, and the app pulls up the owner's name, the mailing address, the phone number, and then you can send them letters, text message, or even cold call them. Many investors invented or built entire portfolios starting with just one neglected house spotted while driving through neighborhoods. I've used this many, many, many times. All right, system number 3, cold calling and texting. Cold outreach can feel uncomfortable, but it can work. You need thick skin and realize that 10 other people are calling and texting these same people as well. It is just a numbers game. I'm an investor. So I'm buying houses and selling houses. And you know what? People still contact me all the time asking if I want to sell my house. Many professional wholesalers, investors use these cold calling teams and these systems to get hold of property owners directly. Our goal isn't to pressure anyone. The goal is simply to ask, would you consider a cash offer on your property? Most people are going to say no. And that is okay. But occasionally someone says yes. It's like digging or mining for gold. Every shovelful you pull out of the ground doesn't have a big gold nugget in it. But when you're gold mining, you keep dealing, you keep sifting through the dirt, you keep looking, and eventually you find that gold nugget. That's the same thing when it comes to buying houses. When we're cold calling, we are looking for that one golden nugget. Some investors outsource this completely using virtual assistants. They call through lists of potential sellers and identify people open to selling. Then the investor steps in and does the negotiations. It's not glamorous, but it's incredibly effective. All right, system number 4, networking and relationships. The 4th system is one that many investors overlook. Actually, it's so easy that it's easy to overlook. It's just about relationships. Some of the best off-market deals that I have ever gotten have come through my networks. I build relationships with people. I have relationships with real estate agents that know I buy houses for cash, property managers, contractors, probate attorneys, estate planners, wholesalers, other investors. I've had other investors literally send me deals because the deal that was in front of them didn't make sense to them, or it didn't fit within their box, and they send it to me. And so building this network has brought a lot of deals, and it takes time. Relationships always take time, but it's a great source. These professionals often hear about sellers before properties hit the market, and I'm aware of them. Or even before maybe individuals are even thinking about selling. Maybe there's a conversation at a family reunion or a church social or something, and one of these professionals overhears somebody who has a motivation, and then we step in to provide a solution. If you're known as someone who can close quickly, can communicate well, and actually performs, people will bring deals to you. Your reputation becomes a deal magnet. So let's talk about building a deal machine. The real magic happens when you combine multiple systems together. Think of it like a big funnel. At the top, you have the marketing, you have your direct mails, your postcards, your letters. Maybe you have the direct phone calls and direct texts. You're doing driving for dollars. It's this big funnel, you're networking. And that catches and creates all these leads. And these leads turn into conversations, and it begins to funnel down. And some conversations, they turn into appointments. The funnel's getting smaller. And then some of those appointments become deals. See, and then professional investors track the matrix, like, hey, where are the leads being generated from? How many leads am I creating? How many conversations a week? How many offers have I made? How many deals have I closed? When you treat deal finding like a predictable pipeline, your business becomes much more consistent. In our coaching programs, these are some of the things that we focus on with our students, is how to become more efficient at this, how to use certain verticals in order to narrow it down and find out where your best sources of opportunities are. You stop wondering where the next deal will come from, because the system is always producing opportunities. Let me conclude with this. If there's one takeaway from today's podcast, it's this. The real estate investors who win are not just great at analyzing deals. They're great at creating deal flow. Off-market opportunities are everywhere, but they go to the investors who build the systems to find them. So start small, pick one strategy, run with it consistently, track your results, and before long, you'll start seeing something amazing. Deals showing up that no one ever knew existed. And that's where the real wealth in real estate begins. Hey, thanks for listening. If you found today's episode valuable, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share with another investor who needs to hear it. That's all for this episode. Thanks for joining me on this episode of the Whitwam Wealth Real Estate Podcast. Be sure to check out our previous episodes of real estate investing topics. I'm glad you're part of our growing real estate investing community. You can always find the Whitwam Wealth Real Estate Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you enjoy listening to podcasts. This is Scott Whitwam. Be sure to join me in our next episode of the Whitwam Wealth Real Estate Podcast, where we're wealth building through real estate.